Good morning students, myself Dr. K. Sakuntala, Assistant Professor in the Mechanical Department. So I am going to handle thermodynamics for this semester. So under the subject we are going to see the important topic of the thermodynamics. So first one is non-flow thermodynamic process. We have various thermodynamic process under the non-flow category. So non-flow thermodynamic process means there won't be any mass transfer during the process, but only energy transfer, energy in the form of heat or work transfer will be there. So under this non-flow thermodynamic process, we have two types. One is reversible non-flow process, another one is irreversible non-flow process. In the reversible non-flow process, the process can be brought back to its initial state by following the same intermediate state points. But in the irreversible non-flow process, it is not happening like that. So under the reversible non-flow process, we have 6 types. First one is constant volume process or isochoric process. Iso means same, choric refers to volume, the term volume. So it is constant volume process. Constant pressure process or isobaric process. So iso means same, baric means it refers to the term pressure. So isobaric process is the another name for constant pressure process. Third one is constant temperature process, during which the temperature remains constant. Then hyperbolic process. Fifth one is adiabatic process or isentropic process. During this adiabatic process, the entropy remains constant, so it is called as isentropic process. Then polytropic process. So these are the 6 processes under reversible non-flow process. Then if you come to the irreversible non-flow process, there will be only one, free expansion process or isenthalpic process. During this process, enthalpy remains constant, so it is called as isenthalpic process. Now in this class we are going to see in detail about constant volume process. What is constant volume process? What is happening to the various properties during this constant volume process, and what are the various relationships between the properties of the system during the constant volume process. So in this we have 2 diagrams. First one is PV diagram, second one is PT diagram. So we have taken 3 important properties: pressure, volume and temperature. First diagram gives the relation between pressure and volume during the process, constant volume process. Second diagram shows the relation between the 2 properties, pressure and temperature during the constant volume process. Now if you see this PV diagram, we have 2 state points, 1 and 2. So 1 is the initial point or initial state point, 2 is the final state point. If you connect this 1 and 2 by a vertical line, it refers to constant volume process. So 1 is the initial point, 2 is the final point. 1 to 2 is the constant volume process. The path 1 to 2 refers to constant volume process. So this arrow mark shows the direction of the process. It takes place from point 1 to point 2. So we have pressure value P1 at point 1, volume P1 at point 1. Similarly at point 2 we have pressure P2, volume V2. So this shows the PV relation between the PV relation for the constant volume process. So similarly, this point is the initial point, this is the final point. So this process 1 to 2 refers to constant volume process. We have properties P1 and T1 for the point 1, similarly P2 and T2 for the point 2. So this arrow mark shows the direction of the flow of the process, direction of flow of the process. Now we are going to derive the various relationships or the relationship and the formulas for various terms for this constant volume process. Let P1, V1 and T1 are the pressure, volume and temperature at the initial state 1. Similarly, P2, V2 and T2 are the pressure, volume and temperature at the final state 2. Now we are going to see the various derivations one by one. First one is the PVT relationship. What is the relationship between the 3 properties, pressure, volume and temperature? So we have taken general gas equation P1 V1 by T1 equal to P2 V2 by T2. Now, so we have pressure, volume, temperature terms. So now in this constant volume process, the initial volume will be equal to or same as that of final volume. That means V1 will be equal to V2. So if we substitute V1, V2 equal to V2 here, we will get this term P1 by T1 equal to P2 by T2, or it is generally known as P by T equal to constant. So for any constant volume process, so this is the PVT relationship, P by T equal to constant. So we can expand this for various state points like P1 by T1 is equal to P2 by T2, like that. So this term or this expression is nothing but Gay-Lussac law. So this constant volume process is governed by the Gay-Lussac law. So this is the PVT relationship for the constant volume process. P by T equal to constant. Next, work done. So what will be the work done during this constant volume process? So there will be some work done by the gas during the constant volume process. So general expression for the work done is del W equal to P dV. For the non-flow process, this is the general equation. So from this we are going to derive the work transfer for the constant volume process. So we have to integrate this term, these two terms from state 1 to state 2. So here integral 1 to 2 del W equal to integral 1 to 2 P dV. So P is taken outside. So only this term will be integrated between 1 and 2. So finally, if you integrate this, you will get W suffix 1 to 2 equal to P into V2 minus V1. Why it is equal to 0? Because during constant volume process, V1 and V2 are same, or V1 equal to V2. So work done during any constant volume process will be 0. You have to remember that during constant volume process, the work done will be 0, because if there is a change in volume, there will be work done. So why W1 to 2 is denoted by like this? So W suffix 1 to 2. But here V2 minus V1, because W or work transfer is the path function. It follows the path 1 to 2. So it is denoted by the letter W suffix 1 to 2. So V2 is the volume at point 2. V1 is the volume at point 1, because volume is the point function. It is measured only at the state points. So V2 is the volume at the state point 2. V1 is the volume at the state point 1. So V is the point function. W is the path function. So this is the equation for work done during a constant volume process. It is equal to 0 generally. So next come to change in internal energy. So what will be the change in internal energy during the constant volume process? General equation is du equal to mCV into dt. So we have to integrate this term between 1 and 2. So we get 1 to 2 du equal to mCV is taken outside. So 1 to 2 dt. So this du will become u2 minus u1. Now mCV comes here. Dt, if you integrate dt between 1 and 2, we will get T2 minus T1. So this is the final equation for change in internal energy. But here if you see U2 minus U1, U is the internal energy at point 2, U1 is the internal energy at point 1, because internal energy is the point function. So it depends on the state point of the process. Similarly, temperature also. Temperature is the T2. T2 is the temperature at point 2, T1 is the temperature at point 1. So we have this equation for change in internal energy. Next, heat supplied. So generally, heat supplied is referred by this general equation del Q equal to du plus del W. Similarly, we are going to integrate this term between 1 and 2. We will get Q1 to 2 equal to U2 minus U1 plus W1 to 2. So Q and W are denoted with suffix 1 to 2, because heat transfer and work transfer are path functions, but internal energy is the point function. So we get U2 minus U1. Now work done during the constant volume process 0. So this term will become 0. So finally we will get Q1 to 2 equal to U2 minus U1 equal to So we have already derived this the equation for U2 minus U1. So substitute here mCV into T2 minus T1. So from this we can conclude the heat supplied, whatever heat is supplied to the system during the constant volume process will be utilized in increasing the internal energy of the gas. So whatever the heat supplied to the gas will increase the internal energy of the gas. And finally, we have to derive the equation for change in enthalpy. So this is the general equation for change in enthalpy. So integrate this term between 1 and 2. We get H2 minus H1 equal to U2 minus U1 into plus P2 V2 minus P1 V1 equal to U2 minus U1 will be, we have derived already, mCV into T2 minus T1 plus, what is this, how this MR T2 minus T1 comes? So from the general gas equation, we have P1 V1 equal to MR T1 and P2 V2 equal to MR T2. So by substituting this term here in this place, we will get this equation. So mCV into T2 minus T1 plus MR into T2 minus T1. So this M and T2 minus T1 are common for both the terms. Take them outside. So M, you will get M into T2 minus T1 into CV plus R. So what is CV plus R? How to replace this? So from this, the difference between specific heats will be equal to gas constant. We already know about this. So by using this equation, CV plus R can be replaced by Cp. So finally, H2 minus H1, that is change in enthalpy, is equal to mCp into T2 minus T1. So we have enthalpy also, it is also a point function. So it is denoted by H2 minus H1. So we have seen the derivation for few terms for the constant volume process. Finally, we will conclude various formulas for constant volume process. First, we will get PVT relationship. P1 by T1 equal to P2 by T2 equal to P by T equal to constant. Work done. Work done W1 to 2 equal to P into V2 minus V1 equal to 0 for constant volume process. The unit is either joule or kilojoule. Similarly, change in internal energy U2 minus U1 is equal to M into CV into T2 minus T1, where M is the mass of the gas, CV is the specific heated constant volume. The unit also joule or kilojoule, heat supplied or heat transfer. So during the constant volume process, Q1 to 2 is equal to M into CV into T2 minus T1. It is also equal to change in internal energy. Finally, change in enthalpy. Change in enthalpy H2 minus H1 is equal to M into Cp into T2 minus T1, where M is the mass of the gas, Cp is the specific heat constant pressure, T2 is the final temperature, T1 is the initial temperature. So we have to use all these equations to solve the problems given for a constant volume process. And I think you have understood the constant volume process. What is the constant volume process? What happens to the various properties during the constant volume process, and the various derivations, and finally the formulas which are to be used for calculation for calculating the values in the problems. Thank you.